your sister because they have to go and work in the fields. So this kid carries his 1-year-old sister everywhere. A lot of those kids don't eat in the morning. A lot of those kids, the only place they do eat is at that school.
I thought going up that mountain, Mary's meals can reach everywhere that there's a hungry child.
You see what happens after a simple meal? It just came to life.
Love reaches everywhere.
Parkview Sports Medicine's integrated sports medicine team is built to serve the needs of all athletes in all sports. Our team's only goal is to improve athletes in every facet. PSM offers performance training to help athletes get better on the field, dedicated athletic rehabilitation and physical therapy to help them get better off of it, certified athletic trainers in our PSM schools providing daily support to our athletes, and a specialized orthopedic walking clinic when injury strikes. Call 260-266-4007 to speak to our care navigators or visit ParkviewSportsMedicine.com to learn more about what we can do to improve athletes at all levels. Parkview Sports Medicine. Become more.
Welcome to the Summit City, home to the 260's dedicated high school athletes and fans. Each victory and celebration captured by our cameras. Treasure the highlights from the Summit Athletic Conference this season or complete games live or on demand. After all, nobody's more proud to call Fort Wayne home than SummitCitySports.com.
Joint pain, sprains, strains, or a possible broken bone? Make the Parkview Ortho Express walk-in clinic your first stop when you have an orthopedic or sports injury. Parkview Ortho Express, located at the Sport One Parkview Fieldhouse, gives you access to quick care and orthopedic physicians when you need it most. Get x-rays, treatment, and referrals to Parkview Care, all in the convenience of a walk-in clinic. Call 260-266-4007 for more information.
I was once a Southside kid who was led on a journey by high school football. A journey that taught me discipline, toughness, and the skills that made me a success. As a businessman with a CPA license who owns his own firm, I still use the building blocks of high school sports in my everyday life. Someday sports will end no matter what level you reach, but you will be left with the skills to compete in the next game, the game of life.
Someday, you'll get your knee replaced. Someday, a new hip. Someday can be sooner than you think. At Parkview Ortho Hospital, we want to help you get moving again. So we offer a full range of options for joint pain, including outpatient joint replacements and personalized solutions. It's time to reclaim your life at Parkview Ortho Hospital, because someday is today. Learn more at parkview.com/ortho. Parkview, we believe in better.
Thank you for watching Summit City Sports. To help broaden our coverage, we're asking you to become a monthly sponsor to our Patreon account. We produce weekly highlights and live video broadcast. When the Homestead girls golf team won its first state title in program history, we were there. When Fort Wayne brought back 3 state titles in cross country, we were there. We believe in sharing positive stories and setting the standard for how high school sports should be covered. Join us and donate today.
Keep it 100. Keep it 100. Thank you.
This is an invitation to join a movement propelled by people who care and members who have a share in the place they bank.
Good morning, Sam.
So when you have the chance to get your first home loan, you know an expert will guide you every step of the way. Or when it's time to buy your new car, you'll be treated like more than just a credit score.
Good news, ProFed can get you that payment.
This is an invitation to a place where simply belonging can help enrich your whole community. ProFed Credit Union. You're invited.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to tonight's broadcast here on SummitCitySports.com. We are coming to you live from Concordia High School, and it is the Concordia Cadets taking on the Carroll Chargers. And my apologies in advance if I should happen to get tongue-tied confusing these two teams. However, these two teams playing a huge game, their first conference matchup of the season for each team. Concordia comes into this game 1-1 on the season. They could get a big win tonight if they could knock off the Chargers. Carroll, this is their first conference game of the season. They're off to a 3-0 start overall. But coming on the road to play a conference matchup is certainly no easy task. Snyder found that out last year when they went on the road to play Wayne. The Generals got a huge win that night. Now, Snyder went on to have a great season, but it was a great win for the Generals, a great program-building win for the Generals. And this game could be a great program-building win if the Cadets were to get the victory. They'd be the first team to knock off Concordia this year, but they've got a young team, Concordia does, especially considering the fact that they lost most of their starters to graduation from a year ago. Braden Pearson was the leading scorer. He has since gone off to college, as have several other players, including the likes of Jaden Parnan, Jaron Kindig, and several others. It was a senior-heavy class that the Concordia Cadets had a year ago. Now, Isaiah Robinson was a talented sophomore on last year's team. However, he is not on the roster for this year, so not sure if he'll be playing at any point this year or not. He's does not appear to be available tonight. This Carroll team is very experienced. They return a group of guys that includes Jalen Jackson and Ryan Preston. Jackson is averaging 26 points per game on the season. Ryan Preston, they get back after he had to miss the opener against Norwell, but he's averaged double figures ever since he came back to the Chargers and provided a huge boost. Cody Berkey has also averaged double figures. He can knock him down from beyond the arc. We saw him hit a bunch of threes in the Chargers' win against Norwell earlier in this season. That was the opener for the Cadets, and Berkey had a fantastic night that night. Well, Marty Beasley is the head coach of the Carroll Chargers. He is an experienced head coach, several sectional titles. I believe this is his 17th season at the helm, if I'm not mistaken. Or 16th season at the helm, I beg your pardon. A lot of great success. He's won 232 games. In fact, the win against Norwell was his 230th win, a milestone of sorts. You get to that 230-plus mark. That's always a good sign. I beg your pardon. It is his 16th season for Marty Beasley. For head coach Phil Brockman of the Concordia Cadets, he is in his third season. Cadets are coming off back-to-back 12-win seasons and looking to build a quality program here at Concordia. They've had plenty of quality basketball teams in the past, had plenty of great players. Tim Reinking had some successful teams when he coached here at Concordia, as did Josh Eggold. In fact, if I'm not mistaken, Josh Eggold is the brother of former Concordia soccer coach Tom Eggold. Tom Eggold, now the pastor at Emmanuel Lutheran Church in downtown Fort Wayne. Of course, this is Concordia Lutheran High School, the only Lutheran high school here in Fort Wayne. However, it's not the only Lutheran high school in the state, and there are plenty of Lutheran churches here in the area. You also have Indianapolis Lutheran, one of the other Lutheran high schools here in the state of Indiana. You can guess where that one is located. And we are close to start time between Concordia and Carroll. We will be right back after this break. National anthem coming up soon.
I choose to do whole body cryotherapy after practices, games, and training. It reduces inflammation in my muscles and allows me to move more agile throughout my profession. I became a believer in iCryo after my severe injury in college at Notre Dame, tore my ACL, and I was looking for ways to recover, ways to get back on the field. So I'm thankful for iCryo.
Please join me in a word of prayer before we begin this evening. Dear Heavenly Father, bless us with your presence during this athletic contest. Spread your protective hand over all the players and keep them from injury or harm. Enable players, coaches, cheerleaders, and referees to perform to the best of their God-given abilities. Remind us that we are your creation, and may all that we do and say during this competition bring honor and glory to your name. In the name of Jesus Christ, your Son, our Lord, we pray. Amen. And now the starting lineup for the Carroll Chargers. Number 5, senior Cody Berkey. Number 10, senior Ryan Preston. Number 11, junior Jalen Jackson. Number 15, senior Cameron Hedgecock. And number 55, senior Sam Stryker. And now the starting lineup for your Concordia Cadets. Number 2, senior Brandon Davis. Number 11, senior Samuel Abbott. Number 14, sophomore Joe Tapp. Number 20, senior Luke Speckard. And number 21, senior Cameron Johnson.
Well, those are the starting lineups, and before we get going, we'll get in a word from a few of our sponsors. Today's broadcast is brought to you by SummitCitySports.com. Follow us on Twitter at 260Sports, like our Facebook page, Summit City Sports, and be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Kelly Automotive Group is Indiana's #1 automotive group with over 1,000 new vehicles and 500 pre-owned vehicles to choose from. Please visit drivekelly.com. Simple, transparent, and reliable. Well, today it was supposed to be a boys and girls doubleheader, but true to 2020 form, the girls' game was postponed. I believe it was, the Carroll basketball team who had to quarantine, but the boys' teams obviously had enough healthy bodies that they are able to play, so it is just the boys' game that will be played today. The opening tip goes out of bounds. They're going to say it's off of Concordia. It looked like it was Luke Speckard who knocked it out. So we will get our first look at the Carroll Chargers on the offensive side of the basketball. Both teams very senior heavy. But right now the ball in the hands of a junior. That is Jalen Jackson. This is Berkey, feeds it to the top of the key. Preston will fire. A little long on the 3 ball, tapped out by Jackson. He finds Hedgecock. But Stryker couldn't finish. Stryker rips away the board. Couldn't finish that time. Rebound comes out to Joe Tapp, but poked away from behind. Hedgecock caused it, and he had to be careful there. Fortunate that he did not get up onto his feet, or off his knees rather, because that would have been a travel. But Carroll keeps the possession after forcing the turnover. I believe they had 4 shots right around the rim on that last possession, and that's poked away. That's Brandon Davis, the senior and starting quarterback this past year, these past 2 years on the football team. Davis went down. Stryker was swiping at the ball, and Concordia is going to call a timeout. Trying to preserve the possession there was head coach Phil Brockman, and while we have an opportunity, we will go ahead and get in another word from some of our sponsors that allow us to come out and do these games that we get to do here on SummitCitySports.com. Tom Steel Tire has been servicing the Fort Wayne area for over 40 years. They will help you find the perfect tire for your vehicle and other auto repair services like brakes, wheel alignments, engine diagnostics, and more. Ready to get back at it. No score just yet between the Chargers and the Cadets. It has been a scrappy game thus far. Now, I mentioned Phil Brockman is in his 3rd season as head coach of the Cadets. He himself is a former Cadet. I believe graduated in the spring of 2004. That's Speckard, feeds it off to Tapp, Joe Tapp, the lone sophomore on this starting roster. Davis just barely able to corral the pass. Brandon Davis, the multi-sport athlete, starting quarterback on Concordia's football team these past 2 years, coached by Concordia Athletic Director Tim Manigal. And slicing through the lane is Sam Amick. And Concordia takes the early 2-0 lead. Right back down the floor come the Chargers. A three from the corner. It's good. Cody Berkey able to answer for the Chargers. Cody Berkey was knocking him down from beyond the arc in the Norwalk game. All good ball movement. Amick for three. That's no good. And I believe that was not Stryker. That was Berkey who got the rebound. Here's Jackson. He drives into the lane, draws a crowd. Berkey from downtown, no good. Stryker rips away the board and scores. Sam Stryker. He's been a workhorse on that offensive glass so far. Oh, that was close to being a double dribble. They didn't call it. Speckard nails the three. A tie ball game after that three by Luke Speckard. His brother David Speckard is a sophomore on this cadet team. This is Jackson. Feeds it out to Cam Hedgecock, the Lures transfer. Berkey is open. Short on the three, though. Rebound comes out to Cam Johnson. Cam Johnson also played football here at Concordia these past 4 years. He was a defensive back, a wide receiver, the leading receiver for Concordia this past season. Here's Davis using the baseline. Off of Berkey, he saves it right into the hands of Ryan Preston. Up ahead they go to Jackson, who lays it in transition. And the Chargers take a 7-5 lead. And Jalen Jackson is on the board for the first time in this game. Back to the top of the key they go. That's Speckard from downtown, and he nails it. And the lead for Concordia. Speckard has hit 2 triples already, and we're just 3.5 minutes into play here in the first quarter. Little swing pass out to Stryker. His three would not fall. And here's Brandon Davis bringing it down the floor. He's picked up by Hedgecock. Hedgecock stays on him the whole way. Good defense there by Hedgecock. And Concordia, or rather Carroll, comes away with it. They get the stop, and here's Jackson in transition. Outside to Preston. Berkey steps inside the arc, couldn't knock it down. There's another offensive board, though. Stryker got 2 offensive rebounds that possession, but didn't get any points to show for it. This is Joe Tapp across the timeline. If I'm not mistaken, I believe I work with his grandmother, Kathy Tapp, at Worship Anew Lutheran Ministry here in Fort Wayne. This is Speckard, fires from downtown, but that's an air ball. He's hit 2 triples already in the game, but couldn't get that one to go. And here's a substitution as Ajani Washington checks into the game for Concordia. And here's Hedgecock across the timeline. Hedgecock, a multi-sport athlete who transferred to Carroll from Bishop Lures. He transferred in from Lures, and I believe it was, Adrian Sewell transferred from Northrop to Northside. This ball goes out of bounds. Always going to be transfers at the high school level as some subs come in. That's Charlie Rudolph and Logan Lankenow. Logan Lankenow, the tallest player on this Carroll roster. He stands in at 6'8". As Hedgecock puts it in play. That's Preston, picked up defensively by Tapp. Preston at the top of the key, looks to drive, feeds it out. 3 ball is no good, but the rebound comes out to Rudolph. Jackson counted, and a foul. So Jackson goes to the free throw line, a chance to complete the 3-point play. And that free throw is good. Jackson completes the three-point play indeed. Loose ball recovered by the Cadets. That's Preston. Feed inside. Lankenau got it. And Carroll adds to their lead. They're up now by 4. A three ball from the corner, no good. And a foul called on the rebound. Call the foul on Hedgecock. A drive to the basket, kick to the corner. That jumper no good. And a foul called on the loose ball. The shot taken by Tapp. And with that, the Chargers take over, up by 4. Started out as a back-and-forth ball game, but Carroll has since scored the last 5 points. And we've got a minute and a half to go here in this first quarter. Jackson with the backdoor cut, but a good job fronting him by Cam Johnson. Here's Jackson with it again. Draws a crowd, pulls up from mid-range, no good. Johnson snatches the rebound. And back across the timeline comes Washington. Washington trying to get inside. Oh, nice backdoor cut by Amick. But that's going to be a travel called on Joe Tapp. And the Chargers will take over with 1:06 to go. Now, Carroll was supposed to have a game against Columbia City tomorrow. That would have been a home game and a non-conference matchup for the Chargers, but that game was postponed. And I believe they're going to make that one up on January 9th. Right now, both of these teams trying to get their first conference victory of the season. Active hands there by Sam Amick. Back outside to Berkey. Fake the pass there by Preston. Preston has yet to crack the scoreboard in this game, but the night is young. And that's Charlie Rudolph who nails it from downtown. Charlie Rudolph on the board for the first time. And trying to answer from the opposite side was David Speckard. The ball goes out of bounds. It was last touched by Ryan Preston. And just watching him, I could tell he was frustrated after that one. He wanted to save that ball, but to no avail. Marty Beasley trying to make sure his guys are in the right place. Marty Beasley has been coaching a long time. This is his 16th season at Carroll. Spent 6 years at Garrett before that. I believe he had 2 sectional titles during that time. This is as Johnny Washington gets around the screen from Johnson. David Speckard on the drive, has it knocked away by Stryker, and that's going to end the first quarter. So Concordia got off to a good start in this first quarter, but right now it is Carroll who's got the lead, 15-8. We'll be back after this here on Summit City Sports.
This is an invitation to join a movement propelled by people who care and members who have a share in the place they bank.
Good morning, Sam.
So when you have the chance to get your first home loan, you know an expert will guide you every step of the way. Or when it's time to buy your new car, you'll be treated like more than just a credit score.
Good news, ProFed can get you that payment.
This is an invitation to a place where simply belonging can help enrich your whole community. ProFed Credit Union. You're invited.
I was once a Southside kid who was led on a journey by high school football. A journey that taught me discipline, toughness, and the skills that made me a success. As a businessman with a CPA license who owns his own firm, I still use the building blocks of high school sports in my everyday life. Someday sports will end no matter what level you reach, but you will be left with the skills to compete in the next game, the game of life.
Back for the start of the second quarter here at Concordia. I want to correct myself earlier. When Marty Beasley coached at Garrett, he won just one sectional title. That was in 2004, but that sectional title was coupled with a regional title. And a 19-7 season overall for the Railroaders. And for the Cadets, coming off back-to-back 12-win seasons, they're 1-1 in the season. Both their games have been close, and there's a good start to the quarter. Johnny Washington knocking down the jumper. This is Jackson out on the wing. Gets a screen from Stryker, drives the lane, kicks it out. Good ball movement by Jackson, and it results in 3 points for Cody Berkey. He hit 5 triples in the season-opening win against Norwell, avenging one of just 6 losses from the 2019-2020 season. Speckard off the catch and shoot, wouldn't fall. And that's poked away. Johnny Washington, he has it blocked by Stryker. Jackson pushing down the floor. He finishes with the finger roll. The speed of Jalen Jackson. Little pass fake there by Eli Maddox. I mentioned that Brandon Davis, who started this game at guard, was the starting quarterback for Concordia's high school football team these past 2 years. His backup this year was Eli Maddox. Speckard able to knock down the 3, a much-needed triple for the Cadets. Speckard has 9 points, all from three-point land, and Lankenau is fouled on the interior. So they'll send the big man to the free throw line. Luke Speckard actually is the leading scorer for both sides right now. He's got 9 points. That foul, by the way, was called against number 21, Cam Johnson. Lankenau is able to knock down the first of 2 free throws. And Brandon Davis will re-enter the game, giving Washington a breather. We are a minute and a half into play here in the second quarter. At a back-and-forth first quarter. But Carroll had a 10-point lead not too long ago. That lead, of course, is at 9 right now, with Lankenau hitting both those free throws. Little tip pass off the feed from the referee by Speckard to put the ball in play. Amick around the screen. They get it in to Alan Termolin. Swings it across court. Amick from downtown, in and out. Battle for the rebound. Carroll's got it. That's Jackson pushing up the floor. Jackson a little behind the back dribble. He finds Stryker. Stryker's 3 wouldn't fall. Eli Maddox with the rebound. Here comes Amick down the floor. Off the glass, no good. There were about 3 Chargers around him, and the outlet to Berkey, but it's blocked, and the foul is called on Speckard. They initially signaled 5. Concordia does not have a 5. We've got number 5 in blue at the free throw line, but they did just change the call. The foul is on number 20, Luke Speckard, as Berkey is able to knock down the first of 2 free throws. Ryan Preston has entered the game for Carroll, and the second free throw is good. It's a 24-13 lead for the Chargers. This Chargers team is scheduled to play Wayne, although the girls team had to postpone their game against Wayne, which is scheduled for the same day. I believe that's Tuesday when that's scheduled, and Berkey caught that ball and ran out of bounds. So no matter how you look at it, it's going to stay Concordia basketball, whether you call travel or stepping on the end line. Either way, Concordia keeps the possession. Now, with the girls' game being postponed, I can't help but wonder, will the boys' game be played that night? It'd be back-to-back conference games for the Chargers if they're able to get it in. Pull-up jumper, no good by Amick, and they're going to call over the back on Termolin. That comes with 5:22 to go. This is Cam Hedgecock across the timeline for the Chargers. Hedgecock might have been thinking about the three, instead feeds it out to Berkey. His three is long. Jackson leaps to get the board, and he was fouled. They tripped him. Foul is called on Brandon Davis. And some subs will come into the game. That's Ajani Washington and Joe Tapp. Tapp was the only non-senior to start in this game for Concordia. Stands in at 6'2". If I'm not mistaken, he had been playing JV ball a year ago as a freshman. They get it inside to Jackson. One dribble, a little bit too strong off the rim though. Here's Washington down the floor, trying to beat the pack. Leans in, no good. Hedgecock the board, outlet to Stryker. Can he finish? He does! Right above the rim, Stryker jams it down. Stryker's been active on the offensive glass. He's blocked a couple of shots, a couple of defensive rebounds. His point total is at 4 at this point. That's blocked on the inside, but this time Stryker's going to be called for the foul. That will send Joe Tapp to the free throw line. 26-13, the Chargers lead it here at Concordia. And the first free throw is good.
Re-entry for the Cadets, number 21, Cameron Johnson.
Cam Johnson checks back into the game for Concordia. This Concordia athletic program has had a lot to be thankful for, a lot to be proud of in recent years. The football team is coming off back-to-back sectional titles. The boys cross-country team won state last year. They got to state this year. They didn't win it this year, but they had a good showing during the course of the regular season as well as throughout the playoffs. And, of course, the girls basketball team has won 2 state titles under head coach Dave Miller, who is still the head coach. And, again, his team was supposed to play Carroll tonight as Stryker finishes on the inside. Like I said, the Carroll and Concordia girls were supposed to play right before this game, but that game was postponed. You would think that they'll certainly make that one up. That would have been between 2 of the most experienced, most successful girls basketball coaches in the area, both Dave Miller and Mark Redding at Carroll, former head coach at Elmhurst and a state champion when he was at Elmhurst. That's going to be a foul called, a blocking foul against the Chargers. They're going to get Preston for that one.
Foul is called on the Chargers, number 10, Ryan Preston.
And Preston comes up hobbling. Chargers will take a timeout, and we certainly wish the best to Ryan Preston. And when we have a chance, we'll go ahead and get another word from our sponsors that allow us to come out and do these games that we get to do here on SummitCitySports.com. It's a full timeout, by the way. Big Eyed Fish has been around the Northeast Indiana area for generations. Like their Facebook pages for updated promotions and enjoy the best fish in Fort Wayne in a family-friendly environment at Big Eyed Fish. You're invited to join ProFed Credit Union, where we get to know you to better serve you. Sign up online in 5 minutes or stop by a branch. Join ProFed today and start owning your financial future. At Ottenweller Contracting, we invest in our customers by providing peace of mind during the entire process from bid to build. Visit OttenwellerContracting.com for more information. Well, we had a close game in the first quarter, but Carroll has made it a 13-point lead here in the second. This is their largest lead of the game as it stands. And Ryan Preston is trying to walk things off. More like trying to jog it off. He's kind of hopping around, stretching his leg out. Came up hobbling at the end of that. I certainly hope that it's not a serious injury. I certainly hope that he might be able to come back in this game. High inbound to Davis. Berkey picks him up defensively. Now, Ryan Preston has had to miss one game. That was the season opener, but I believe that's the only game he's missed so far. Looks like he'll take a breather. I'm not sure if he was able to walk that off or not. There's the rebound by Stryker, and it's Jackson who comes the other way for the Chargers. Jackson pushing in transition. He scores. Jackson's been doing stuff like that for a good chunk of the night. He's up to 9 points. He averages 26 points per game. He's one of 3 double-digit scorers on this Charger team, but there's Brandon Davis right back on the other end. A much-needed 3 for the Cadets. And we've got less than 3 minutes to go here in this first half. 2-3 zone by Concordia. As Rudolph cuts to the arc. And Hedgecock running the point there, and Jackson posting up down low. Rudolph off the catch and shoot. No good. Battle for the rebound. Jackson rips it away. Has it blocked. Gets it back and scores. Jalen Jackson sticks to it. It's back to a 14-point Charger lead. Well, both teams, their school names start with the letter C, and so do their mascots. So if you're wondering what the reason is for the tongue-tied announcer, that has a little something to do with it. Won't put all the blame on it, but that has a little something to do with it. Washington for 3, no good. And that's Hedgecock who comes in for the board. Lofts it up the floor to Rudolph. Rudolph back outside to Stryker. Back to Rudolph on the outside. He's got Jackson who comes out to the top of the key to catch the pass. Jackson, a junior point guard, plays AAU ball for the Indy Heat, and they certainly love it when he does stuff like that. They especially love it here at Carroll. Jackson's up to 13 points for the Chargers. Had a wide open Amick there on the corner, but a good closeout by Jackson. Loose ball. A turnover created by Cody Berkey. Got his hand on the pass, perhaps inadvertently. But nonetheless created the turnover. There's Jackson on the interior. He scores again. Jalen Jackson has done so much right today for the Carroll Chargers. He's got 15 points, and his Chargers are up by 18. They have doubled the Cadets' score. Cadets perhaps holding for the final shot of the half here. This is Washington, slows it down, drives the lane, lost the ball, got it back. A contested 3 by Davis, and he nails it. Brandon Davis. Falling away, he hits the 3. Jackson comes across the timeline. Trying to push in traffic. Out to Hedgecock. Hedgecock from downtown, his 3 wouldn't fall. And that brings us to the end of the first half. Carroll with a 36-21 lead. It was close in the first quarter, but Carroll has begun to run away with it. Up 15 at the break. Well, we have a chance. We'll go ahead and get in a word from our sponsors that allow us to come out and do these games that we get to do here on SummitCitySports.com. Summit Volleyball trains and builds the highest quality volleyball players in the area from ages 5 to 18. Our players are equipped with elite level skills and a foundation of life skills. Jump on board. Together we can reach the summit. Anderson Heating and Air Conditioning is dedicated to providing the best possible solution for your home or business, a system and solution that fits your unique needs. Visit AndersonCoolHeat.com to learn more. El Azteca Mexican Restaurant has been a Fort Wayne favorite since 1973. El Azteca Mexican recipes are sure to tantalize your taste buds. Visit elaztecarestaurant.com. iCryo specializes in whole-body cryotherapy, body sculpting, cryofacials, infrared sauna, and compression therapy services. Check out Jalen Smith's signature location on Coliseum Boulevard by Blaze Pizza here in Fort Wayne. Parkview Sports Medicine continues to lead the way in Northeast Indiana. Our specialized sports medicine team offers direct access to physical therapy and sports physicians in our new Parkview Ortho Express Clinic located at the Sport One Parkview Fieldhouse. No referral needed, saving you time and money. Visit parkviewsportsmedicine.com to learn more. At If you are interested in developing your basketball skills, or if you have a son or daughter who is interested in developing their basketball skills, they can check out the Holiday Hoops Basketball Development Camp hosted by Always 100 Basketball. It goes on Monday, December 28th through Thursday, December 31st, New Year's Eve, of course. Morning sessions are 9 to 11 a.m. Evening sessions are 4 to 6 p.m. To register, go to always100basketball.com. And if you have any questions, you can call Always 100 at 260-446-3251. Well, at halftime, it is Carroll up 36-21 over Concordia, and we'll be back after this break here on SummitCitySports.com.
We have to do this. A bit of a hill. His mother said, if you're coming to school, you got to bring your sister because they have to go and work in the fields. So this kid carries his one-year-old sister everywhere. A lot of those kids don't eat in the morning. A lot of those kids, the only place they do eat is at that school.
I thought going up that mountain, Mary's meals can reach everywhere, that there's a hungry child.
Do you see what happens after a simple meal? It just came to life.
Love reaches everywhere.
Parkview Sports Medicine's integrated sports medicine team is built to serve the needs of all athletes in all sports. Our team's only goal is to improve athletes in every facet. PSM offers performance training to help athletes get better on the field, dedicated athletic rehabilitation and physical therapy to help them get better off of it, certified athletic trainers in our PSM schools providing daily support to our athletes, and a specialized orthopedic walk-in clinic when injury strikes. Call 260-266-4007 to speak to our care navigators or visit ParkviewSportsMedicine.com to learn more about what we can do to improve athletes at all levels. Parkview Sports Medicine. Become more.
Welcome to the Summit City, home to the 260's dedicated high school athletes and fans. Each victory and celebration captured by our camera. Treasure the highlights from the Summit Athletic Conference this season, or complete games live or on demand. After all, nobody's more proud to call Fort Wayne home than SummitCitySports.com.
Joint pain, sprains, strains, or a possible broken bone? Make the Parkview Ortho Express walk-in clinic your first stop when you have an orthopedic or sports injury. Parkview Ortho Express, located at the Sport One Parkview Fieldhouse, gives you access to quick care and orthopedic physicians when you need it most. Get x-rays, treatment, and referrals to Parkview Care, all in the convenience of a walk-in clinic. Call 260-266-4007 for more information.
I was once a Southside kid who was led on a journey by high school football. A journey that taught me discipline, toughness, and the skills that made me a success. As a businessman with a CPA license who owns his own firm, I still use the building blocks of high school sports in my everyday life. Someday sports will end no matter what level you reach, but you will be left with the skills to compete in the next game, the game of life.
Someday, you'll get your knee replaced. Someday, a new hip. Someday can be sooner than you think. At Parkview Ortho Hospital, we want to help you get moving again. So we offer a full range of options for joint pain, including outpatient joint replacements and personalized solutions. It's time to reclaim your life at Parkview Ortho Hospital, because someday is today. Learn more at parkview.com/ortho. Parkview, we believe in better.
Thank you for watching Summit City Sports. To help broaden our coverage, we're asking you to become a monthly sponsor to our Patreon account. We produce weekly highlights and live video broadcast. When the Homestead Girls Golf Team won its first state title in program history, we were there. When Fort Wayne brought back 3 state titles in cross country, we were there. We believe in sharing positive stories and setting the standard for how high school sports should be covered. Join us and donate today.
Keep it 100. Keep it 100. Make it.
This is an invitation to join a movement propelled by people who care and members who have a share in the place they bank.
Good morning, Sam.
So when you have the chance to get your first home loan, you know an expert will guide you every step of the way. Or when it's time to buy your new car, you'll be treated like more than just a credit score.
Good news, ProFed can get you that payment.
This is an invitation to a place where simply belonging can help enrich your whole community. ProFed Credit Union. You're invited.
36-21 at halftime. Carroll has jumped out to a 15-point lead. It was an 18-point lead not long ago as both teams make their way back out on the court. There's Concordia on the far right side of your screen. Carroll now walking back out of the locker room, and they look to get off to look to pick up right where they left off toward the end of the first half. Carroll is known for playing great defense, and they are doing just that tonight, holding these cadets to just 21 points so far. They play great man-to-man defense. They stay with guys on dribble penetration. They stay with guys who are away from the basketball. Basically, going to play good man-to-man defense. You got to be able to run with everybody, whether they've got the basketball or not. You got to be able to run with the man you're guarding. You're going to play good man-to-man defense, and Carroll certainly does a good job of that. That is one reason why they are out to this 15-point lead at this halftime intermission. Go ahead and look at the leading scorers. Leading scorer for Concordia is Luke Speckart. He's got 9 points. He's hit 3 triples in the game. Brandon Davis not far behind him. He's got 6 points. Sam Amick, Johnny Washington, and Joe Tapp each have 2 apiece. Leading scorer for Carroll is none other than Jalen Jackson, who's averaging 26 points a game coming into this matchup. Sam Stryker has 6. Cody Berkey has 8. He's hit a couple of threes. Logan Lankenow has 4. Charlie Rudolph has 3. Those are the scores for the Chargers and the Cadets. Be back in about 48 seconds here on SummitCitySports.com.
I choose to do whole body cryotherapy after practices, games, and training. It reduces inflammation in my muscles and allows me to move more agile throughout my profession. I became a believer in iCryo after my severe injury in college at Notre Dame, tore my ACL, and I was looking for ways to recover, ways to get back on the field. So I'm thankful for iCryo.
We got an update for you. Wayne is leading Snyder 31-30. A good ball game once again between those boys basketball teams. I believe that was supposed to be a doubleheader. It might have been that girls had to postpone that one. In fact, Wayne was scheduled to play Carroll early next week, but I believe the girls had to postpone that game. We'll see if the boys game ends up being played. Wayne and Snyder played a heck of a game last year over at Wayne High School. The Generals won that one, a back-and-forth game. Snyder went on to have a pretty good season, but for Wayne, it was a nice program-building victory for then first-year head coach Byron Pickens. There's Byron Pickens, an AAU coach for the Indy Heat. Coached the 9th grade team this year, as that shot is no good by Sam Stryker. And back the other way come the Cadets. One of the other games going on is girls basketball between Southside and Northside, one of the girls basketball games that is being played tonight. Shot fake by Davis. He swings it back outside. Washington was able to corral the pass. Johnson, the feed to Joe Tapp. He'll fire a 3, and he drains it. And the Cadets get the first points of the half. Don't go anywhere. It's still a double-digit game, but a good start to the half for the Cadets. Can the Chargers answer? Well, good ball movement could certainly help that cause. And that was what you just saw from Jalen Jackson on that feed to Cody Berkey. Jackson on the drive. Going to kick it back outside. That's Preston. Could not knock down the 3. And it's Johnson who comes down with the board. And here's Davis going baseline, swings it back out to Speckard. A bucket here could either get it down to 10 points or inside single digits if they can get a 3. Here's Johnson. Swings it over to Speckard from the corner. His three wouldn't fall. Offensive board, Johnson tries to make his move. Davis fires a three. He's short. And Jackson eventually grabs the rebound. Did he just go between the legs? I couldn't tell. It was a nice crossover no matter how you stack it. And Carroll's able to get the stop. That would have been a long three if Hedgecock had fired one. Hedgecock, the Bishop Luers transfer, multi-sport athlete. He also plays football, was a wide receiver this year for Doug Dinan's Chargers. In past years for Kyle Lindsay's Bishop Luers Knights. I'll see the Bishop Luers boys team tomorrow. Nice drive to the basket by Jackson. Bishop Luers will be at Canterbury tomorrow night. The defending SAC champion Bishop Luers Knights. Off the hands of Johnson. And back the other way comes Ryan Preston, and he scores. Ryan Preston on the board for the first time tonight. And it's back-to-back buckets after the early three by Concordia. The Chargers now up 16. Long pass to Speckard. Looks like Carroll may have gone to the zone here. Three from the corner, that's no good, and Berkey comes down with the board. Jackson across the timeline. It's around the screen from Stryker, wanted to pull up. Instead, it's Preston from the corner, in and out. And the rebound comes out to Joe Tapp. Drive to the basket by Washington. He uses the baseline. Tough shot blocked by Stryker and rebounded by Jackson. And Jackson gets out ahead of the pack. Berkey, a three in transition, no. And right over the top goes Brandon Davis for the board, but they turn it over. Stryker a little short on the jumper. Berkey, or rather Preston with the offensive rebound. He finds Berkey. And the Chargers reset with about 4 minutes to go. Hope to get you an update on that Southside-Northside game going on at By-Hay Arena on the campus of Northside High School. Of course, By-Hay, a legendary high school basketball coach in this area. He coached at Northside, and if I'm not mistaken, he is a Concordia graduate. Very well respected in the Lutheran community, as that's Jackson who gets the shot to fall. Jackson is up to 19 points. And I think they stepped out of bounds. It was Speckard who stepped out as we get some subs into the game, and the Chargers will take over. This is the only Lutheran school here in Fort Wayne. However, Concordia is one of 5 private high schools. It says the only Lutheran school. It's the only Lutheran high school in Fort Wayne. There's plenty of Lutheran schools here in Fort Wayne. It's only Lutheran high school. It's one of 5 private high schools here in Fort Wayne. The others being Blackhawk Christian, Canterbury, Bishop Luers, and Bishop Dwenger. Carroll is a part of the Northwest Allen County Schools District as Hedgecock goes high off the glass, couldn't put it in, but a little tip shot is good by Sam Stryker. Stryker's up to 8 points on the game. He's been active around the glass. He's making a case to be Parkview Sports Medicine player of the game when this thing's all said and done. But there's Joe Tapp driving to the bucket. He'll go to the line. A chance at a three-point play for Tapp. Joe Tapp up to 7 points for the game, the lone non-senior in the starting roster for Concordia, and he completes the three-point play. 2.5 minutes to go. Charlie Rudolph is coming off the bench for Carroll. Feed inside to Stryker. Tough shot. It was blocked at the rim. That was David Speckard who swatted it away. Washington goes baseline, draws the double team. And Termolen puts it in. Back-to-back buckets for the Cadets. But the Chargers look to push right back down the floor. A little bounce pass to Stryker. Rudolph is open from the corner. In and out on the 3-ball. And the rebound eventually grabbed by Washington. Speckard, open 3 from the corner, got it! And all of a sudden, it's an 8-0 run by the the Cadets. And that's going to prompt a timeout from head coach Marty Beasley. And while they take a timeout, we'll take one with them here on SummitCitySports.com.
There are tons of benefits to using compression therapy, but my favorite are speeding up muscle recovery, reducing swelling and inflammation, and improving my athletic performance.
(44-32), Carroll leads Concordia. We got 1:55 to go in the third quarter. But Concordia is on an 8-0 run right now. That prompted a timeout from head coach Marty Beasley, and the Chargers looking to get some momentum back. This is the first conference game of the season for either of these teams. Carroll comes in at 1-1. Carroll comes in at 3-0. Concordia comes in at 1-1. Both their games were close. We'll certainly talk about that as the night goes on. Jackson couldn't get that one to fall, but he'll go to the line. Jackson's had an extremely productive night tonight. 19 points in the game for the junior.
Jackson has 2 shots at the line.
Concordia's one loss was against Northwood High School. They lost that one 53-50. Their win was against Belmont. That was a final score of 48-46, and they'll have another non-conference game tomorrow against Bluffton. Big free throws here. Jackson was able to hit the first one, help slow down the run, and he goes 2 for 2. Jackson is up to 21 points. He had averaged 26 points per game coming into this one. He is close to matching that tonight. Tough shot by Termolen, wouldn't go. Ball's loose on the floor, and it's eventually taken away by Charlie Rudolph. Preston feeds it inside to Lankenau. He's fouled, and the shot counts. Well, Concordia had scored 8 straight points, but it looks like Carroll has found the answer. They're back up 16. 58.5 to go in this third quarter. And Lankenau with a chance to complete the 3-point play. He does just that. 7 points in the game for Lankenau off the bench. He is the tallest player on this Carroll team at 6'8". Amick has it stolen. Here comes Jackson the other way. Jackson, 1-on-2, counted, and a foul. Jackson took on 2 defenders, and it's no trouble at all for the junior point guard.
That shot was good, and Jalen Jackson has 1 shot for him.
And he's up to 23 points for the game, 41.6 to go. And Jackson buries it. A 20-point lead for the Chargers. That matches their largest of this game. Well, 2-3 zone by Carroll. A swing pass out to Tapp. 3 from the corner. That's David Speckard, and it's no good. Lankenau with the board. And Carroll can hold for the final shot. We're down to 15 seconds to go in this third quarter. Jackson letting the clock wind down. Will it be up to him to take the final shot? Looks like it will. It's down to 4. He has it poked away. Loose ball. Washington got to put it up, and he didn't get it off in time. That basket is not going to count. They got the steal from Jalen Jackson, and maybe worth another look shortly after we come back, but we are ready for the fourth quarter. Carroll up 52-32 here on SummitCitySports.com. Here's a look at our latest Traction AP replay. This is how the third quarter came to an end if you're just joining us. Johnny Washington able to create the turnover, prevent the bucket. Unfortunately, the basket didn't count because he didn't get it off in time. Would have made it an 18-point game. Concordia starts this fourth quarter with the basketball, but they got a lot of ground to make up if they want to get their first conference win of the season and get it tonight. It would be a huge victory. Not just because they're down 20, but this is a very good Carroll team that they're going against. You win a game like this, it's a good program builder. Little turnaround jumper by Speckard, and he nails it. Beautiful shot by Luke Speckard. He's up to 11. He's the only cadet in double figures. Stryker avoids the turnover. Here's Preston from the corner, hits a three. Ryan Preston had not hit a three all season long. He was hovering around double figures in points per game most of last season. Did not finish in that number, or in that ballpark rather. But he's been averaging over 13 points a game this season. Missed the opener against Norwell, but he's been able to play the last two. Preston's up to 5 for this game. That was his first 3 of the game. That's off the hands of Stryker, but stolen right back by Hedgecock. Stryker spinning in, and he scores. I tell you what, Stryker has put in a heck of a night. Now, he might be kicking himself after that ball hit him both on the hands and in the face. But he's able to get the bucket in the end. Good stick-to-itiveness by the young man. Carroll had 2 double-digit scores. That's a gift wrap steal for Cam Hedgecock, but he couldn't put it in. I was going to say Carroll had 2 double-digit scores last year. Jalen Jackson was one of them. Richie Gross was the other. He has since graduated. That's David Speckard who hits the 3 ball. So back to a 20-point Charger lead, and we've got 6 minutes to go here in this fourth quarter. It was a close game early on. 1 point it was 10-8 in Carroll's favor. Shortly after, Concordia had taken an 8-7 lead, but after the Chargers took that 10-8 lead on a 3-point play, they never trailed again. Rudolph's shot is off the mark. Davis pushing the other way. He slows it down. He's the quarterback on the Concordia football team. He has been the last 2 years. He's going to graduate this year. That 3's off the mark. And essentially serving as the quarterback of this Concordia basketball team at the point guard position. But that 3's no good, and it's Preston who grabs the board. Good job by Davis, though, picking him up. Hedgecock trying to feed it. He finds Jackson. Jackson spinning around. Shot wouldn't fall, but he'll go to the line. And Jackson is up to 24 points in the game. That's Cam Johnson's second foul. We'll see what happens on these 2 free throws. Oh, couldn't hit the first one. Tried to lean into that one. Berkey comes back into the game for the Chargers, and for the Cadets. Joe Tapp has come back in. I believe that's Jackson's first miss from the free throw line. He's been on target. But he goes 0 for 2 there. You can blame that on the announcer jinx if you want to. Now here's Preston from the wing. No good. Hedgecock with the rebound. And another chance for the Chargers. Inside to Stryker. Almost had it poked away, but he backs it out. Back out to Jackson. And Jackson is a point guard, but he'll line up in a number of different spots on the floor. They'll have him line up on the low block as he just fired that thing out of bounds. He was trying to get it to Berkey on that far side, but just threw it out. And now Concordia takes over with 4:40 to go in regulation. So the first conference game for both the Cadets and the Chargers. As the Chargers are in the 2-3 zone. Swing it outside to Speckard. Pull-up jumper, contested shot, that's no good. And it's Jackson who gets the board. Back over to Jackson. Looks like Concordia is in the zone defense. And now they go to the man-to-man. Hedgecock gets it back outside. And now Jackson looks to reset, gets it over to Hedgecock. Preston on the drive. Left-hand layup is good. The blow-by bucket by Ryan Preston. A double-digit scorer so far this season. He's up to 7 points. It's been a quiet night for him, and that'll happen every now and then. There's a 3-ball for Concordia. That's Eli Maddox. Baseline drive by Preston. Kicks to Berkey in the corner. His 3 off the mark. Speckard with the rebound. Contested 3, no good. Speckard grabs the board, has it knocked away, but he is fouled. Ian Jackson briefly got tangled up, looked like it was all incidental. And that will send Speckard to the free throw line. 3:21 to go here at Concordia High School. But he couldn't knock it down. Into the game comes Grant Hayworth, another one of those multi-sport athletes here at Concordia. Free throw is good. So Speckard goes 1 for 2 on that trip to the line. Saw number 14 there on Concordia's side of the scoreboard. I thought it was number 14 for Carroll. That would be Zach Castater, but he has not gotten in the game yet. That pass goes off the hands of Jackson. Here comes Washington down the floor. He turns it over. I believe that was Hedgecock who created it, and Jackson, that's going to be goaltending. Those 2 points are going to count for Jalen Jackson, and that gets him up to 26 points for the game, matching his average for the season. Kind of an unorthodox way to get to 26 points as Washington gets to the inside and scores, but he's able to put it home. Check that. That was Hayworth, number 32. Preston off the fake. Trying to get it back outside to Jackson, and that's poked away, but off of Concordia. Amick knocked it out of bounds, and it'll be Carroll basketball. Ball looked like it came right to Marty Beasley. And Jackson heads up play there. He lets that one land in the backcourt before he grabs it to avoid the over and back call. And obviously it's late in the game. You're up 18, but nonetheless, last thing a coach wants to see his guys doing is making mistakes, especially avoidable mistakes. That ball's stolen away. And Hedgecock comes from behind and commits the foul. Well, we'll go ahead and show you our latest replay brought to you by Traction Athletic Performance. Check that. We're going to have the inbound here, Concordia basketball. We'll show that to you in a little bit. Time permitting, we'll show it to you before the end of this game. If not, we will show it to you after this game. There's a lot of stuff from Jalen Jackson that's worth seeing again, and that ball is knocked out of bounds. Unfortunately, we don't have time to show you all of Jackson's highlights when this game is all said and done, but we'll show you a few. There's Joe Tapp from the corner. That's no good, and there's Jackson skying for the rebound. Now, I know there was nobody around him to contest it, but that was some good ups by Jalen Jackson. There's no denying that. They go baseline, swing it to Jackson, trying to recapture the ball. He does, and that's a jump ball, and I believe that's the first jump ball we've had called today. And we've only got 1:40 left to go in this fourth quarter. How often does that happen? Answer, not often. They have to dry off the basketball here, so that's the reason for the delay. And we'll go ahead and show you our latest replay, brought to you by Traction Athletic Performance. We're going to have the inbound here shortly, so unfortunately, time did not permit there. Inbound to Berkey. Jackson with the ball in his hands. Preston with a three off the catch and shoot, rattles it home. Though Preston was quiet for 3 quarters, he's going to finish this game with a double-digit performance. He comes up with 10 points, at least for the time being. That jumper is good by Grant Hayworth, and that's going to allow some subs to come in.
Okay, Jackson!
Logan Lankenau comes into the game for the Chargers.
Dylan Lentz, number 51, AJ Bain, and number 14, Zachary Castaldo.
Here comes Zach Castater across the timeline. His sister Lexi is on the Carroll girls basketball team, coached by Mark Redding, longtime head coach in this area. He's coached at Elmhurst, Wayne, and Carroll. I believe he still teaches at Wayne, even though he's not coaching there anymore. His son Michael graduated from there this past spring. He's at Ball State studying to be a dentist. So who knows, in the next 4 or 5 years or more, you go to get your checkup, you may be seeing Dr. Michael Redding. A.J. Bain inside, and the basket is good. That's Charlie Rudolph with the bucket. Rudolph with 5 points in the game. That shot off the mark, rebounded by Keegan Rode. And we're inside the final 10 seconds of this game. Carroll looks like they're headed to the victory. No doubt they are headed to the victory. There's a prayer thrown up by Washington. It wouldn't go. The putback was after the buzzer, so it will not count. But Carroll wins this one by a final score of 66-45. The Chargers a winner. They go to 4-0 on the season, and what a great performance by Jalen Jackson. Carroll goes to 4-0, Concordia to 1-2, and we will be right back here on SummitCitySports.com.
I choose to do whole body cryotherapy after practices, games, and training. It reduces inflammation in my muscles and allows me to move more agile throughout my profession. I became a believer in iCryo after my severe injury in college at Notre Dame, tore my ACL, and I was looking for ways to recover, ways to get back on the field. So I'm thankful for iCryo.
Carroll wins it 66-55 over Concordia. The Chargers go to 1-0 in conference, 4-0 overall. The Cadets fall to 1-2 overall, 0-1 in the conference. Well, an update, Southside is leading Northside 54-13. Those two teams are in the third quarter. In just a second, we'll get an update from Wayne versus Snyder. That was a good one, but now Snyder looks like they're starting to pull away. They're up 10, 52-42. That's also in the third quarter. This game is done. Carroll wins it 66-45. A couple of replays to show you. We'll go ahead and show you the latest one. This was how Jalen Jackson got to double figures on the night. Check that. That was the turnover that closed out the third quarter. This is how Jackson got to his 26 points on the night. He came into this game averaging double figures, averaging 26 points a game. He ended up matching it on this drive to the basket. Ball went off the backboard, and it was tipped on the way down to the hoop. That is goaltending, so the 2 points counts for Jalen Jackson. Not sure if that's the way he wanted it, but he'll certainly take it. A 26-point performance for Jalen Jackson. Now, Sam Stryker also turned in a heck of a performance. He finished this game with 10 points total and also several offensive rebounds, a couple of block shots. So for our Parkview Sports Medicine players of the game, we're going to split the honor tonight between both Jalen Jackson and Sam Stryker. Jalen Jackson and Sam Stryker are your Parkview Sports Medicine players of the game. So that's going to do it from here at Concordia Lutheran High School. Carroll, a winner, 66-45 over Concordia. They go to 4-0 overall, 1-0 in conference. Concordia 1-2 overall, 0-1 in conference. For my camera operator, Deontay Davis, this is Thad Goff saying so long from Concordia Lutheran High School. Again, the final score, Carroll 66, Concordia 45.
About the place that it put us, and the quarantine hit, and we knew we had guys that were going to work hard at home, but just the idea that we could get a lot of them together working hard at a location with people that know what they're doing was really beneficial. And I think that training did a great job for those guys to kind of get the ball rolling for them, and they came back in the end of June, early July, and it's like they hadn't missed a beat. They were flexible, they were fast, and ready to lift and run and start playing football, so it was a huge benefit for us.
To gain an edge on your competition, it starts with a free one-on-one performance assessment. Call 260-266-4007. Parkview Sports Medicine. Become more.
Welcome to the Summit City, home to the 260's dedicated high school athletes and fans. Each victory and celebration captured by our camera. Treasure the highlights from the Summit Athletic Conference this season, or complete games live or on demand. After all, nobody's more proud to call Fort Wayne home than SummitCitySports.com.
Someday, you'll get your knee replaced. Someday, a new hip. Someday can be sooner than you think. At Parkview Ortho Hospital, we want to help you get moving again. So we offer a full range of options for joint pain, including outpatient joint replacements and personalized solutions. It's time to reclaim your life at Parkview Ortho Hospital, because someday is today. Learn more at parkview.com/ortho. Parkview, we believe in better.